think this is it right behind me. Welcome to a city you may have heard of, Wuhan. A city that most of the world knows for only one reason. And I know what you want to see, and I kind of want to see it too. But what I want to tell you is that Wuhan is actually a pretty cool city, and it's played an important role in the history of China. How 厉害 OK 可以吗？
打得完个子。
OK。
你打得完个子。
打得完。
你把那个放到旁边，录像噻，你录像。啊。哎，打高往高的打。
OK。
弹一下。弹起来。你看那啊。来，看到啊，弹一下的。
哦。
都这弹一下。
哦，这样弹。
今天往高的打。往
高啊。
哎，对，你看到的，弹一下的，看到吗？
哦。
再中了吗？
我再试一下。
哎，再试。
OK。
哎，对，打。再。哎，有的没？哎，好。看你打几个啊？看一会打几个。
啊。
打得完嘛？来，打。
There's no break here. 先生，我是吧，我忘了，太忘了。我
照个相留念好不好？
不要走路。
照个相留念好不好？
照相。
留念，来照个相了。
OK。
我跟你讲，照个相啊。
OK， 可以的。
好。你是哪个国家的？
我是美国人。
哦，美国人啊。
对。
哦，这个纪念啊。
That doesn't ruin things. 纪念。
这个纪念。对。
OK。There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. 不错。
都会结账，是吧 ？Yes.
Yeah. OK.
好，行了。打，不要紧。
我打完了。
不打了，
因为我在走路。
我再转一下。
对。对。
不要，
没关系。
你吃不吃烟
？Yeah， 我在发现武汉。
对。
这是我第一次来的。
你吃不吃烟？
啊，
吃个烟。
OK， 谢谢。
好，我来把火这里。
I don't even smoke with this guy。
也来玩的是吧？可以。你几大？
我36岁。
你没有我大。你看我有几大？
哇，你好年轻啊
！55年的。55年的。68了。
哇，68。
对。
哇，对。哦，你在，He's making fun of me。
你打嘛，玩嘛，跑没事了。
啊，我不能继续打，因为我要走路，我要走遍武汉。
哦。
今天我要走遍武汉。
哦，走遍武汉。
对。你推荐我看什么？
到黄河楼去玩。黄河楼。
黄河楼。东湖。对。
罗家山大学。罗家山。
OK， 我要去看看。
去玩一个嘛，来一趟不容易是吧？休息一趟不容易，是吧？
是。
OK。过瘾。
这。
在路上过瘾，来。
我就是要握手。
来。拿2次在路上过瘾啊。
OK， 这里。OK。谢谢先生。
好。
谢谢先生，我要走了。
好。
很高兴认识你。
哎，我想再照一个。
再一个 OK 可以的。
可以啊，再来，要亮一点。耶。好，谢谢。
不错。
谢谢啊。
谢谢。
好，这就完了啊。
再见。
拜拜啊。
对，拜。加油。
啊。慢慢的玩呢。
来，喝着。That man is a good example of why I still love China. All right, so before we do anything else here in Wuhan, after I got my workout in, what I've been told I should do is I should have rugan mian, hot, dry noodles. Yeah, that's literally the translation. I should have rugan mian for breakfast. So let's go find a good place that makes them. Honestly, I gotta say, Wuhan seems like a pretty nice city so far. I mean, look at these nice tree-lined streets. Okay, hold up. I was gonna go for the noodles, but I just spotted all these people lining up for dumplings. Baozi. Let's go join the line. 先生，我想问一下，为什么所有的人都在这里啊？
吃的包子好吃。
Okay, 这是个很好的原因。
是的。
It's just the dumplings are really good.
你的手就是武汉话。
武汉话。
哎，对。
Okay. 武汉话谢谢怎么说呢？
谢谢。
就是谢谢。那有什么特别呢？
没有，一般就是口音比较重一点嘛，说话比较
口音比较不一样。Okay. You know, one of the tough things about traveling around China, is I'm starting to realize, is that every place in the country has a different, well, as the Chinese call it, a different dialect. Sometimes it just means Mandarin is spoken with a very different accent. But that can be really hard for me to understand. Other times, when you're more down south in like Guangdong and places like that, it's a completely different language. Although it's also referred to as a dialect here in China. There are people out here buying trucks full of dumplings. I'm hoping to just get one.
先让老哥讲了10个。
你好，你好，酱肉包2个可以吗？可以，2个酱肉。啊。这个爱人说的蛮好。谢谢谢谢，那里。OK， 再见。谢谢。谢谢。All right. Got my dumplings right here. Soy sauce beef. So in China, there's basically 2 main different kinds of dumplings. You got the smaller ones that you need like a chopstick to grab with, but then you got like these big ones, these big fluffy ones. And each one of these is like an entire meal in of itself. $0.40 for that. Oh, somebody left their tomatoes on their rented bike. And this seems like street food central. In Shanghai, where I spent most of my time in China, you don't really have these anymore. A lot of them are closed down, you know, for the sake of public sanitation. Ooh, okay, I just spotted the hot dry noodle place over there. 热干面，好，我来一碗。
下一碗。好。那下一碗热干面有扫码都没有。
我可以的，可以扫。
是现金还是这个？
可以扫，可以扫。
5块5。
5块5。哇。
5.5啊。
5.5。你好，你好。我可以在那里坐下。可以，这里吗？啊，好的。好，谢谢。Okay. Taking my bounce over here. 好了。好，谢谢。没有。我说的还可以，谢谢，我会的。
这是猪，加不加？
我是个很特别的老外，我会这么做。
他会，他知道。
Gotta mix up the noodles a bit. Bro, it's not even $1. I like it. I don't know what I'm tasting exactly. It's some kind of sauce. It's not quite peanut sauce, but it's good. 哎，师傅，我想问一下，是什么酱的？
芝麻酱。
芝麻酱。对，
芝麻酱。
Sesame sauce.
热干面的特点就是芝麻酱。
啊，芝麻酱。对。There you go.
微信收款2元。
谢谢老板，再见。Wow. Whew, pretty full now. Had some dumplings. Had some hot and dry noodles. Whew. Definitely got enough calories to explore Wuhan today. I might even not lose weight today. That's great. That's probably enough calories to walk to the Wuhan wet market, which I'm a bit curious to see. So I'm now walking through a kind of electronics area. Everything is computers, printers, security cameras. This company, Hikvision, I believe is sanctioned by the US government. But interestingly, I see it all around the world. In Africa, in South America, does a lot of business outside of the US. 这个一个是多少钱？
你需要吗？
我就是好奇。
好奇，好奇，
对
好奇这个怎么说呢？你是看中哪一件？
比如说这个。
这一套是吧？
对。
这一套也就3500左右。
3500左右。好，不太贵，不太贵。
还好，是的。
这是给酒店的吗？
嗯，对。酒店的、车厂的、商场的都可以。
哦，明白。
这个差不多4000。
哦，这个比较贵的。
对，这个就外观可能好看一点。
哦耶。
功能实际上
好看一点。
这个还好看些。
啊，这个是最贵的。
对，这个差不多10000块钱。
啊，对。这个也是，如果你有电瓶车，充电车。
对，充电桩。
Wow. So if you're in the market for a little camera, they're very good at those here, as you may have heard. The only Western company you'll see amongst this electronics extravaganza is Apple. Apple is still a very popular product here in China. They have something like a 10% market share. And considering how expensive the iPhone is relative to the average Chinese salary, that's saying something. Wow. Interesting name for a convenience store. 我想问一下，这个品牌 Bold 只有武汉只有吗？
不是，这不是一个品牌，就开店开多了的一个，就3家。
哦，因为我只在上海，从来没有看过。
因为这不是本地的品牌。
哦 ，OK，有点搞笑的名字。
对。
Bold 没有头发的。很特别的，谢谢，再见。It's got a chain of convenience stores here in Wuhan called Bold. I feel like that's a personal attack against me and half the other male travel bloggers. What was I saying? No. Let's go. Oh, look at that. We found the busy part of Wuhan. I don't really get the point of those spinning red things. 为什么有这个东西？
这个。
对。
苍蝇。
苍蝇。Okay. It's like 抓注意力。China is a country full of people who are masters at marketing. And this city, Wuhan, is actually a good example. In the early 1900s, the American press labeled Wuhan as the Chicago of China. It's a city right in the heart of the country. It was a manufacturing hub, still is, and it was sending out products. It was exporting products all around the world. There was just one problem. Back then, just as today, around the world, Chinese products had a reputation for being of lower quality. Being that back then there were no copyright laws, the Chinese factories had a brilliant idea. Why don't we just mark on our packages that it was made in the USA, or made in England, or something like that? The Europeans and the Americans never knew the difference. Now, there are some things in this country you could be legitimately angry at. I'm not going to deny that. Same as any other country. One thing, though, that I'll never agree with is the idea that Chinese people aren't innovative, that they just go to school, do what they're told. No, China's full of some of the most innovative people I've ever seen. Anyway, what other markets do they have in Wuhan? Okay. We're gonna go to the wet market. Yes, that wet market. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. But let's do it. I think this is it, right behind me. gonna turn the camera off for a while. Alright. That was indeed the market. And as you saw, it's all boarded up now. It's been shut. Didn't want to linger around there too long. They basically told me everything is closed and that I should leave. So, that's what I'm gonna do. What else can we do? Do they have any laboratories in Wuhan? Oh look, Wuhan has a metro. And let's walk into it. Because, yeah, I'm not trying to drink any tea right now. Don't want to drink any tea. China is a country I genuinely love. It's also a country that really doesn't like you asking questions. I find myself in one of the worst China metro situations possible. Rush hour at a train station. Let's ride this for a few stops. All right, we've arrived at Keji Lane, Technology Lane. And this area is the area of Wuhan University. So you have lots of institutes dedicated to different things, different campuses, people studying all different kinds of things. And yeah, there's a place where they study viruses also. Whoop. This abandoned building is not a laboratory. Apparently it was a kindergarten. That building behind me says the Chinese Scientific Campus of Wuhan for studying geology. I believe that's geology. Sure, Li. I don't know. I have to read up on my characters later. I'll put a correction here if I made a mistake. But I just wanted to say, like, look at how big these campuses could be in China. Did you have skyscrapers at your university? This is apparently it right over here. The Wuhan Institute of Virology. Probably get out of here now. This, very appropriately, is a COVID testing station. So the way it would work is you'd have a worker in here, they would stick out a swab, and you do your daily COVID test. I'm not sure what the rules were in Wuhan, but for a lot of places in China, people were doing this as much as several times a day. You'd have somebody in a hazmat suit sitting here, just waiting to do your COVID test. Do many, many COVID tests. China, unlike the rest of the world, was trying to completely eliminate COVID from its borders. We could talk about, excuse me, we could talk more about that somewhere else, since I see somebody taking my picture.
OK，
我有的。
我要什么？
这是交女朋友的吗？
英格兰的，对，英格兰的。
不是，美国人。It's a Wuhan singles party. Wow. I'm missing the chance to meet the love of my life out here in Wuhan. So when you use WeChat to scan into the event that the guy was handing out, it starts asking you a bunch of questions. Like, for example, how tall are you? This one is, how much money do you earn? Do you earn 50,000 to 80,000 a month? Or do you earn over 100,000 per month? That would be, I think that's about $15,000 per month. So there you go. If you earn over $15,000, you are super Gao Fu Shuai. You are Bill Gates level out here in China. Well, at least in Wuhan. Oh man, you just gotta love the directness of Chinese people. It's just like the marriage market in Shanghai. So here we are in the center of Wuhan, the city that changed the world for the last 3 years. Irrevocably, in many ways. This is what it's like. They've got a public square, stores, malls, and all kinds of things. Just like your city. Huh? 喝的？哪个国家的？哦，美国的。美国的，哎，他普通话说的好标准。啊，没有办法。是搞直播的吗？对对，我是直播，我不是直播的，是视频的，视频的。我是博主，对，我来旅游的，对对。你的粉丝有多少啊？我们是做祛痘美容的。对，祛痘痘。啊，祛痘痘。性感了，谢谢谢谢，性感 ，thank you， 谢谢。Okay， bye bye. They're telling me my beard is very sexy. There's also a man who said it. Respect. You know, I have literally not seen a single foreigner in this entire country. Not even in my hotel. And there's only a few hotels that foreigners can stay in. And I've been to many places in China. I've never had a situation where I've never seen a single foreigner. I feel like that gives me some added pressure here.
还好啊，
还好，
武汉可能武汉人说话就是有一点特殊的发音，所以可能有一点
发音太凶了。
对，发音太凶了。
OK， 这样，但是不危险。
不。
OK。
中国是个很安全的国家。
啊，对，我同意。但是我看到这里没有外国人。有，只是说他们在哪里啊？图书馆有很少。为什么没有给我？
为什么？
谢谢。Now it's another party. These are the different activities. There's going to be bingo. There's going to be truth or dare. There's going to be a world war. I don't know what that implies. Maybe I shouldn't go to that activity. 像说服外国人来武汉，你们是武汉人吗？不是。哦，不是。但是你住在武汉吗？
我们来旅游。
我来旅游的。哦，你们也是旅游的。从中国哪里的？
南京。
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There's your convincing. They came all the way from Nanjing, and they're not afraid of Wuhan. You can come too. Wuhan, man. I think it's subverting my expectations. Not a bad city at all. I'd hang out here. Wuhan has to be one of the best cities, one of the best values for your money I've ever seen. Literally everything is like under $1. And yet you've got basically first world standards in terms of infrastructure, housing. I mean, you know. They closed the wet market. OK， 在这边吧。谢谢。
你这个是在记录生活吗？
对，这是来旅游的。
你是哪个国家的？
是美国人。
美国人。
对，你们是武汉人吗？
我们是长沙。
长沙，对，长沙来哪里？
藏在湖南。
湖南。
对，毛泽东的故居。
哦，毛泽东的。
对。
OK， 哇，所以你是毛泽东的家人了。
我不是。
好，你们也是来旅游的吗？还是住在这里？
我们在这里工作。
工作。
上班打工。
打工啊。OK， 什么工作？
卖啤酒。
卖啤酒。
对。
你的工作是卖啤酒？
对。
真的假的？
你去车上拿一瓶啤酒来。
我看一下。
1998。你看后面。
1998。
后面。
OK。
这是历史，我们啤酒的历史。
克林顿总统
访华的时候，
对，
去了广西桂林。
OK。
这个啤酒厂刚建的时候，1998年。
OK。
对，他亲笔给我们这个啤酒写的。
所以他喝过。
对。
Wow. Okay. Clinton's beer in China. There you go. 1998. They're saying they'll give it to me for free, as long as I help them make a little advertisement. Sounds like a fair deal.
编辑一下。你玩抖音吗？抖音。
我有时候玩抖音。非常棒的广告。对。会有好多外国人。
谢谢你朋友。
不客气。
中国。这个是中华牌的香烟。
He's saying that he bought me the most Chinese cigarettes possible. 哇，谢谢。我要这个。慢走，朋友。
再留一支香烟给你。
那我们先去吗？See you later. Good luck. Wuhan. I love it. I mean, hopefully this country won't destroy my lungs by the time I leave, but I mean, if I don't stop talking to people here, I'm going to end up with a full carton of cigarettes by the end of the day. And I really don't smoke. Yeah, I'll try to start that. That's it. Okay, 微信。Wuhan is a city of heroes. The original Chinese Revolution that ended the monarchy and brought down the emperor, finally, actually started right here in Wuhan. Many people don't know this, but 100 years ago, Wuhan was a global center of manufacturing, and the Europeans had concessions here, just like in Shanghai. The British, the French, the Germans, the Japanese, everybody was here. And they used Wuhan as a manufacturing center to ship goods back to their own countries. But at the same time, there was also a plot being hatched to overthrow the monarchy. People had had enough of the emperor. And it was here that some troops, they weren't quite ready yet to start the revolution, but they accidentally triggered an ammo dump. It started on fire, and they ended up in a shootout with the emperor's troops. Those revolutionaries faced a choice, and they had to make it quick. Either surrender to the emperor's troops and face certain execution, or fight back and begin what some would call the biggest revolution of China's history. And thus, the emperor was finally overthrown. And China, well, and then another guy came and became emperor for like a year or something like that. But in more recent times, Wuhan was also home to a very famous hero. As you may all know, in 2020, the event that changed the entire world began here. The COVID outbreak started in a market. That market that we saw yesterday that is now all boarded up. And it was Li Wenjun, a very famous doctor who sadly passed away during the outbreak, who spread the word and let everyone know that a new kind of pandemic was spreading in the country. Man, Wuhan's got some surprisingly cool architecture. All these buildings are even better than Shanghai's. And again, right here, you have some of the beautiful contrast that you find in China. This is an old Sherlock Holmes looking light post being used as a clothing line. Ah, 你好。你好，你好。 我想问一下，你住在这里多久了？你不会普通话吗？OK，没问题。
你说什么呀？我不懂。
我说这些建筑。
我不清楚，我不是这里人。
啊，你不是这里的？
哎，我不是这里人。
啊，你来从别的地方？
哎，我是我的孩子在这里工作。
啊，你在？
我暂时在这里呢。
OK。
看看他。哎，我要回去。
好，知道了。OK。谢谢阿姨。OK，拜拜。Can't always assume the old people that you see sitting on the street have been there for 100 years. But these buildings probably have. And that's what I was trying to ask about. These are some of the old concession buildings that the Europeans built when they were here. 先生你好，你住在这里吗？
对。
我想问一下，这些建筑，他们有多久啊？他们被改建了吗？
大概100年吧。
100年。
哎，不会改建，这都是原有的。
哦，都是原来的。
哎，都是原来的，俄罗斯风格的。
Okay, there you go. Built by Russia. I mean, to be honest, I might have to double check that they were actually built by Russia and not one of the other European countries, but I can believe it. So, how should I end this video? When I first arrived in Wuhan, I thought I'd have to be going around here like a secret agent. I thought I was gonna do a little mission and then hop on the next train leaving. But I actually stayed an extra day than I planned because what I realized is Wuhan's actually a pretty cool city. And I actually recommend you come and visit. I feel kind of bad that this city is gonna be permanently stained with the mark of, yeah. So, Wuhan, not what you expect. Wuhan, a city of heroes. And Wuhan, a city that I genuinely recommend that you come and visit. If I'm allowed to come back after releasing this video, I will happily continue to sing the praises of this city. I gotta go catch a train. My next stop on my journey across China is somewhere very far from here. So, I'll see you in a couple of days. 下次见。
对，在，哟呵，对，打，哎，对，我告诉他，对，打，哎，球来得及，球来得及。
我忘了，太忘了。我。